Welcome to Lagos, Nigeria, where UK Ball starts on pole from Revo and Sebastian Ocampo. Behind the two-time champion is Nico Palomino and Linus Eriksson. Devin Butler starting 6th from Chris Cornwell and Charles Hernandez, with row 5 made up of Casper LeBeau and teammate Kazuki Sims. Scotland's Ewa Puff starts 11th from Gabriela Barton from the Philippines. Then comes Marcus Nelson, your boy, and Daniel Bogdasarov. He's followed by Lars Chaplerk in 16th place. Darren Sparks is followed by teammate Versteel and Nunez Garcia. Hatchai Solis starts 20th from Zygmunt and Dominic Hudson. Then comes the back row of Onkro Ezra and David 12. The penultimate round in the ERL Formula E World Series takes us to Lagos, Nigeria. UK Ball on pole. Can he get his 3rd win on the season as all 5 lights go on? They were held there for a long time, but the Lagos ePrix is underway, and it's a fantastic getaway there from Sebastian Ocampo. Already the leader's going 3 wide, heading down into turn number 1. The 7 of Revo tries to take the lead, and he gets it, keeps it out of the wall. Does he know he's into the side of Sebastian Ocampo? And the 7 is out with UK Ball. 3 cars out at the opening chicane, and that means Nico Palomino takes the lead in Lagos. Can you believe it on lap 1? Revo there seemingly having no grip on very cold, soft compound tyres. And he paid for it in spades there. Ocampo and UK Ball collected as collateral. They were going 3 wide, heading down into 1. Palomino dropped down to 4th, and I personally thought that could have been it for his hopes of taking home the win. But that was the smartest move that the Spaniard could have made. He leads from Eriksson and Hernandez in a race that could seal Tag Heuer Porsche's position in 2nd in the points, and the 93's placed there at 2. But Eriksson, again, he's fighting for that position too. I think UK Ball might drop down to 4th, and if Cornwell somehow ekes out a win today, that 89 could drop all the way down to 5th in the points from 2nd, heading into Las Vegas. Eriksson with the fastest opening sector of anybody. It was 2nd heading into Montreal, sorry. That 28 car. 1.9, 2.3 seconds off the back. Palomino getting as fast as 2nd sector of anyone. That gap increasing. He's looking very comfortable here in Africa. Running on board with the 96. Once again, coming through the final corners, and you can already see after 3 laps, these tires not wearing down too much, but that's mainly just because this is the single shortest lap on the calendar. There's a lot of slow speed turns throughout this track, but the lap times are sub 40 seconds. Blisteringly quick throughout this racetrack. Alright, expect a lot of action after the first stage of pit stops, with Casper LeBeau now on the back of Devin Butler. Actually had a very good start though. You'll remember he started 9th, so that means he had to make a pass, and that pass seems to have been done on the 96 of Chris Cornwell. 14 to go now. Expect this race to go by very fast despite the seemingly long lap count. Still on board with the number 96. And she'll be moving over to Sims Racing next season, replacing Kazuki Sims as he moves over to the team's IndyCar division. And Sparks has dropped all the way down to 21st. What's happened? It's a rear puncture for the 65. Darren Sparks, the man currently last in the championship. The English Zimbabwean driver, unfortunately, with a rear puncture, but also down into the pits there for Palomino and Eriksson. Butler also comes in, so Charles Hernandez will take the lead. This man yet to win a race in Formula E, and honestly, he deserves one at this point. And oh, we have a caution. It's Chaplerk and Nelson, and I think LeBox has got into it too. That's coming out of the pits, and it's a red flag on lap 5. Your boy spins it round. That seems to be contact with the Honda. Bogdasarov as well, so the 2 Frenchmen in the wall and out for the 97. A perfectly timed red flag for Charles Hernandez, sees him on the front row. We're about to get back under the green flags here in Nigeria. And we are green on lap 5. It's a good getaway there from you. A puff off the line. A rocket ship of a start from the 34 of Casper LeBeau as they head down into turn number 1. We could see fireworks again. Casper makes contact. We've got a caution. It's Palomino and Garcia darting off the track there. Is the Luxembourgish driver Ericsson going into the back of the Porsche. And unfortunately for Nico Palomino, who seemed to benefit the most from the lap 1 calamity as 12 gets into the back of the Spaniard, it does not look like he'll see the checkered flag. And with Ezra into the Porsche, it's a red flag once again. Sigmund's out of the race. Red flag restart attempt number 2 here in Nigeria. The 5 red lights come back on. And we are green again, and it's a fantastic start there from you, a puff. Casper LeBeau having a pretty average start in comparison to Hernandez. Heading down into turn number 1, he's going to have to try and hold off the season 24 champion, and it looks like they've all made it through clean. No, they have not. Hachai Silla dropping off the road there, but keeping it out of the wall. Your boy looking for a pass on Chris Cornwell, but it doesn't quite come for the 27. We are staying green then on lap 5 of 18 after our second red flag restart attempt, and it's the 52 of Charles Hernandez at the head of the pack. Kazuki Sims fighting with David 12 there. Might have actually picked up a bit of damage on that restart. Doesn't look like he did. Seems like it might have been just a poor start as we go on to lap 6 of 18. Can you believe that we are only now 1/3 of the way through this Nigerian ePrix, the first of 2 races here in Nigeria, the title decider down in Abuja under the lights, and a track quite a bit larger than what we've got here in Lagos. Fastest first sector for Charles Hernandez, making his way through the second now and trying to hold off Casper LeBeau. And honestly, this racetrack itself does lend itself to defense quite a bit. Expect these tires to go about 3 or so laps into this race, as now the 34 coming out of the final corner. Hernandez with the fastest lap of 39.596. Pretty sure we were faster than that before the red flags. And 12 dropping off of the back of Sims quite substantially there. That does not seem to be looking too good. Chris Cornwell in that battle for second in the points. Well, most of his other rivals are out of the race in terms of that battle. Palomino out of the race, UK Ball out of the race. It's only Ericsson who's still in this, and he's down in 10th. With a result like this, he becomes an outside favorite for a second place in the championship, even though Revo still leads the points on 200, and it kind of looks like he won't go any further than that 200 point total. 10 to go from Lagos, Nigeria. The city in the country that everyone thinks is the capital for some reason, but really isn't. Looking back with a 31, with the rear wing opening up there. Devin Butler trying to stay close to him. In fact, the whole field being a lot closer than what we've seen in some races past, and that just seems like some additional developments to these ERL 03 cars, just making it a lot harder to pass, it seems, and even stay right behind the car in front. Through the final corner for the 52 of Charles Hernandez. Not at all under threat. In comes Casper LeBeau for what I believe is his first stop of the race. David 12 also comes down into the pits. It's Hards there for the number 34, and for David 12, let's see what he goes on to. It's also Hards. I think a pit stop under green here is about a full lap. 23 seconds after coming out, this lap is about 40 seconds in length. So it's over 2/3 of the whole lap that you lose by coming down into the pits. David 12, almost a lap down here by that metric. But of course, everyone else has to come in, and in does come the 52. Now we get to see, is the overcut or undercut the better strategy? As Puff is now leading laps for Citroen version, followed by Chris Cornwell and verse Theo. Dominic Hudson there darting all over the back. We've got many other cars coming in. That's your boy and Devin Butler coming in. Hernandez now hurtling down the pit straight, but the 34 is going to be in front of the Thai driver. Charles Hernandez is currently in a net P2 here. The undercut working out perfectly for Sims Racing. Fastest first sector for Casper LeBeau, an 11.911. Considering his American heritage, I don't think he'd be very happy with that lap time. That sector time, sorry. Puff coming down into the pits from the lead. Cornwell and Versio all coming in as well. Hudson also down into the pits, so Hatchai in her second Formula E race, filling in for Matthew Hart. Leading the pack, Casper LeBeau with the single fastest lap of the day at 39.444, followed by Hernandez. But for the 34, he's on the back of Oinkro Ezra up in second. And we've got a caution. It's... Oh! Puff in David 12, spinning down the main straight. Out of the race for both of them. That knocks us down to 11 here in Nigeria. And the fans hate that. Despite the 12 car not having the best season already at home, this has to be one of the worst feelings you can have. And it seems like he took Puff out there coming out of the pits then for the 9 car. So we've got neither Virgin, neither Honda. And that's it when it comes to neither two teams' cars coming home to score points. Also, neither Venturi, as in comes the 21 of Hatchai Sella. Oinkro Ezra will stay out to begin lap 12 of 18. But the 34 darting all over the back, looking for the pass, looking to try and go around the outside, coming through turn number 1. Somehow they don't touch, and Casper LeBeau takes the lead from Oinkro Ezra and Charles Hernandez. A lot of weaving there for the number 47 car. He's passed by the 52 of Hernandez. Silla coming out of the pits now, seemingly in 7th. Hudson's going to be coming out there. Oh, contact with the Malaysian driver. Spins it back onto the road. Can she save it? She just about does in 8th place. Major front wing damage for both cars involved, and a 5-second time penalty for Dominic Hudson in the 31 car. Honestly, that is a rightful penalty if I have ever seen it. I think Versio might have had either damage or a rear puncture, whatever the issue. He's had to come in again, and that right there is Casper LeBeau putting a lap almost now on the Brazilian driver. And that's actually given Hernandez a bit more room to try and think about making a pass with 5 to go. 5/10 of a second separating your race leaders. Oinkro Ezra, the homeboy, of course, coming in now. Also in, Silla and Hudson. Out of the pits there for the 47. And Sim settling down the main straight, not close enough to think about making a pass yet. Look at the wear on that 34's tires. Theoretically, you can get to the end of this race, but I don't think it'd be wise to. Versio on the back of this pack of your leaders, not going for position here. Hudson drops behind as Silla does as well. The 31 coming out of the pits. And oh! That's with Chris! Chris Cornwell collides with Hudson, and they are both out of this race. The 96 and the 31 coming to blows. And a full course yellow on lap 14 of 18. 4 to go from Lagos, Nigeria. And for the race leaders, this is when you want to come into the pits. I mean, for Ericsson, this is fantastic news if you're a fan of the Swedish driver, because now your man is looking straight at second in the championship, as we are now green again here in Nigeria. No, Cornwell will not be scoring any points today, despite technically being classified 10th, due to her not seeing the checkered flag. She will not be awarded with those points. 3 to go, with a margin of 1.6 seconds, and honestly, it might come down to pit stops. Devin Butler coming in for a second stop, post red flag here. And I wonder if he's actually got any other tires to use. Let's see, what does he go on to? It's some fresh soft compound rubber, I think from the first red flag period. 0.8 of a second separating your leaders. 0.9 now. And I think, is Casper in traffic? No, he's on his own. Coming through the final corner then. And in comes Charles Hernandez. On lap 16 of 18. Tag Heuer Porsche throw one last Hail Mary attempt at winning this race. fresh soft compound tires going on to that car. Your boy on 6-lap-old hards, Casper on 7-lap-old hards. Let's see the percentage then. It's 36 for the Frenchman. Think he'll just about make it. Coming out of the pits in 5th there for Charles Hernandez. With no worries there. Butler all over the back of Linus Eriksson. And in fact, looking for the pass around the outside there for the Englishman. They touch wheels, but he gets past. Up into 6th place for Devin Butler. And that is one of those overtakes that you just got to watch again if you get the chance. Because that was absolutely fantastic. We're on to the penultimate lap of this race. And Casper Lebeau is looking to go to the end with the tyres that he's got. It's going to be a lot more achievable for your boy, who might actually be in conversation for winning this race. For Sims Racing, a 1-5 right now is honestly what they need in a season that has been anything but going their way. The 52 of Charles Hernandez moves up to 4th place, and we've got a caution. And does that include your race leader? No, it's Silla. Oh, that is Silla and there's Theo there involved. Casper Lebeau not involved in that. Down to 7. That is not coming out of the pits like you would expect. I think that's just going through the corner. We came up to that with your boy before the marshals got that cleared up. If Sims are going to pull in that 34 car, that was probably the time around to do it, but they will not. 22% tyre wear for the 34. I think he'll just about make it to the end. We're on to the current lap. 1 to go. A milestone that we didn't reach last time out in Melbourne, but we will just about reach today in Lagos, Nigeria. It's not going to be a first-time race winner unless your boy can pull out something magical for Next TV TCR on this lap, but with the gap increasing, it's looking like it'll be the Season 1 Ace Champion. Multiple-time race winner across the ERL's divisions. Casper Lebeau looking at the victory. But the margin is closing. Your boy, 2 seconds back now. It used to be 3. But as he's coming through the final few corners here in Lagos, Nigeria, he's got it done. Casper Lebeau will round the final corner and win the Lagos ePrix by a margin of just about a second in front of your boy. On tyres that are ready for the dumpster. And to the line! The home fans denied of a podium for Oinkro Ezra by only 1/1000th of a second. And a full car puncture for Linus Eriksson drops him down to 7th place. Hernandez just clawed his way back up to 3rd. Could have been a podium. And it was a podium. Could have been a podium for Ezra, rather. Could have been a win for Hernandez if they played the strategy a little bit better. But Casper Lebeau coming home with the win in Nigeria Race 1. And after that, honestly, fantastic Lagos ePrix. Here is your podium. Casper Lebeau coming home with the win. Frenchman, your boy, coming home with 2nd. And Charles Hernandez certainly could have won, but will probably relish in a 3rd place result following those 3 is Oinkro Ezra, Devin Butler, Kazuki Sims, and Linus Eriksson. That's all of your finishers from today's race, meaning that your Drivers' Championship looks like this. Revo, followed by Palomino and Eriksson. Eriksson 5 points down on the Spaniard, so we do have a battle for 2nd heading into the final race. That actually, theoretically, goes from Palomino in 2nd to Sims in 8th. With UK Ball on 79 points, Lebeau on 72 points, Hernandez on 68, your boy on 64, and Sims on 62 points. Chris Cornwell just outside of that battle for 2nd, which could be absolutely magical. Devin Butler rounding out your top 10 from Garcia and Theo. Ocampo 13th from Chiclerc and Ezra. Hudson currently 16th from Hachai Sella and Marcus Nelson, although all of the points scored by Hachai Silla actually from Matthew Hart, and that is who these points will be credited to when you look at the history of the series. Marcus Nelson, 18th currently from Europuff, and Daniel Botsarov, David 12th, 21st from Labarton, and then the relegation duo who are going to be fighting in Abuja then to make sure that they compete next season. Zygmunt and Darren Sparks, both of them in the World 500. Heading into the final round of the championship then. That is the full season results for the drivers. Not Hyperdrive still lead the points despite not scoring in 2 rounds. Tag Heuer Porsche about 104 points away, but pulling away from both Sims 888 TGR and Logitech Power Motorsport. Those 3 teams then involved in a battle for second. BMW Andretti currently 5th from NextEV TCR, rounding out your hundreds club. Then comes Mercedes EQ, Kuro Raceco, Citroen Virgin, Amlin Aguri, Honda Racing Team, and Venturi Racing. 1 more round to go in the ERL Formula E World Series, and it keeps us in Nigeria. We head to the capital for the Abuja ePrix. The World 500s pre-qualifying on the 11th of July at 1 p.m. with the main qualifying session happening here on SBM1 on July 12th, the pre-qualifying being on SBM2. On the 13th of July, we'll have the full World 500, and of course the Shanghai race recap will be tomorrow on the 6th of July. Thank you so much for watching here on SBM, or Spark Plug Motorsport if you prefer, and we will see you guys next time then for the final round in Season 29 of the ERL Formula E World Series.